Welcome to If You Even Care. Thank you for caring enough to click on this at least and check it out, see what's going on, what's all this about. You're gathering that it's a podcast, and you've gathered correctly. It is. I would love to ask how you're doing and chat about the weather and whatever else is happening. The Met Gala, I don't know. But there is something at the forefront of my mind, and it is pretty much the only thing that I can think about. So we're going to have to cover that first. Let me say I'm also a little bit mad at some of you. I just don't know who. I'm not sure who to direct that at. When I think about you, like a person who might be watching or listening to this, it's like an amalgamation of every YouTube thumbnail I've ever seen, any Spotify comments. It's just like, it's all combined into one. So that is who I'm talking to. That thing, a biblical angel is what I'm talking to. I'm mad at you. Because somebody out there knew about this before I did and didn't tell me. And I can't be sure who. So I'm just going to have to get mad at you as an idea, as a concept, you. The other Bennet sister? The other Bennet sister. Wow, yeah, that's funny because it came out March 15th of this year. So very interesting how this just came across my desk this past week. Funny how that works. So nobody's from the UK anymore. Nobody has a phone. Nobody can send a pigeon my way or something. Just something to let me know that was happening. The other Bennet sister, Bridgerton, is seething. Bridgerton just punched a hole in their fucking wall. Bridgerton's done. You're out. And we're probably never going to get a season 2 of the show. But you're done. You're toast. Sayonara. The other Bennet sister. I've seen peak now. I've fucking peaked. You have homework. You're going to want to go and complete the series before this time next week. Because let's just say it's going to be on the test. I'm always telling you, write this down. It's going to come back up. This is going to come back up. This is going to come up for the rest of my life, which could be long. It could be never ending even. Some say I may not die. I'm going to tell you about my girl Mary real quick. She is living in the shadow of her sisters, not as beautiful as them, as funny or smart or eccentric or whatever it may be. She just is the lackluster sister. And her mother tells her so. Other people say so. She tells herself so. And the show is the journey of Mary kind of finding herself and discovering that she is sought after. She's wanted despite her awkwardness. She could be pedantic at times. She could even be like a little bit hard to get along with and still lovable and still worthy of love, and has not just one, but 2 love interest. And I'm not talking about that fucking Bridgerton Penelope season when she had a guy who kind of liked her and he was like, yeah, but I'm never gonna love you because I love birds and I love nature and I have no room for romantic love because of that. What the fuck ever. This is not that. Okay? 2 guys who genuinely like her for who she is, pining after her, dare I say it, the hottest word of 2025, and it's still going right now, yearning for her. One significantly better than the other, but both of them want her. Both of them are different. They're very different people, and her relationship with both of them is different. The love story is so good. So good. If you are like, we brush, hands with one another, and that's the kind of thing that keeps you going for a week, an exchange of glances across the room, that feeling, that crush feeling, that's what you thrive off of. You need to tap in immediately. I've also had a couple of really good, nasty, ugly cry sessions to this show this week, because there's also like like a mother figure who she becomes very close to and who sees her for who she is when her mother definitely did not do that. The relationship between her and her sister, actually, like, I could cry. I could summon tears right now if I wanted to, but I'm not going to do that. I won't do it. I could. I have access to them. They're right there behind my eyes, and I will not do it. Not right now. I'm wearing powder foundation. Tom Hayward, the man he is. You're gonna watch it. You'll watch it, so you'll see and you'll get it. But I think it's just coming out on BritBox, whatever the fuck that is, this week. I think that it would be good to watch it through something official like that, just for the numbers, because I don't think BBC, this is a BBC show, which always has that kind of like glazed over, dreamy look to it, almost like a soap opera. I think it has something to do with like aperture or something, or shutter speed. I'm just naming everything about a camera that I know. BBC, I don't think that they expected this show to do as well as it did, because it's blowing up, and I think it's only going to get bigger. Unfortunately, I don't think that there's a season 2 coming because of how it ends, but because everybody dies. So now I've spoiled it. Either way, I think it would be good to watch it officially, just to rack up those numbers and go, hey, so this is actually what everybody wants. This is what everybody's looking for. And we found it in this show. Maybe give us more like this. But I did not do that. I watched it illegally. Every time I talk about watching a show somewhere, because I'm watching shit from across the board, HBO, Amazon Prime, Hulu, Netflix. I'm never watching anything on actual Netflix. Fuck Netflix. People are always like, how do you have all these streaming services? Or, oh, I can't watch that because I have Hulu. I don't have Hulu right now. I have never had Hulu. I'm not paying for Hulu, girl. Like, you need to get familiar with S-Flix, Y-Flix, Look Movie, Soap Today. Like, have you never been down to the Pirate Bay? I don't know. I just think some people are scared, and I think that it could happen where you get like a letter. I actually know somebody that happened to, from like streaming a movie that had recently come out, like watching it online. But nothing came of it. Like, no legal action came from it. And I've been doing this my entire life. I'm telling you, I was on LimeWire. I was hacking into the mainframe. Or that's what I thought I was doing. I really thought I was getting in there. I was like breaking down firewalls and shit. I'm just downloading torrents or whatever. I'm torrenting. I'm in the act of torrenting. I didn't know what I was doing, but somehow I always had a cracked version of Photoshop. I've got cracked Adobe Premiere, the whole suite, the whole damn suite. I do pay for it now. But that's just for convenience, because I never felt like going back and getting the cracked versions. But for years, I was always the plug for anything, any program you wanted, even games. You got to get into it. If you're scared, just don't be. I don't use a VPN. I don't do any of that. I don't need it right now. It'll find me when it's time for me to have a VPN. It'll find me. But that includes like Love Island is coming out soon. And Love Island for me is not just the show Love Island. In all honesty, in many ways, fuck Love Island. Love Island to me is a season. Summer, the first part of summer is Love Island. August is not Love Island. June to mid-end July, that's Love Island. I'm on Love Island. Love Island for me doesn't even really have to do with the contestants. It doesn't have to do with Maya Jama. It doesn't have to do with even Ariana Madix. It has to do, it's for me. It has to do with me. It's about eating watermelon, and it's about waking up and putting on house music. It's about wearing really tiny shorts. Like, Love Island is a feeling. It's not a place. It's just a feeling. So I'm very excited for that. But I keep up with both. But Love Island UK, I watch it every single day. It airs every single day, except for one, just like USA does. And I am on top of it, and I watch it the day that it comes out because of Reddit. On the top of I think it's the Love Island ITV page, I'm pretty sure. at the top, there's always a pinned post where people are in there every day, like 45 minutes after the episode airs. They're putting a link to it in there, and I'm watching it immediately. I stay up to date. I'm not paying for a VPN. I'm not doing it. And maybe one day that's going to be my downfall. And it's very likely. That's just the risk I'm willing to take, to not add more subscriptions on to what I already pay for, which is very, very little. But every time I'm like, oh, did you watch this? No, I don't have HBO Max. Oh, stream it. Let me send you a link. Grab your phone. Grab your phone. Let me show you something. I'm about to change your fucking life. Let me show you. You can watch anything you want in this world. If it's an indie thing, or if it's something where I'm like, okay, I'm really anticipating this project because of who's in it or who made it or whatever, I'll add to your numbers. You know, I used to buy albums. There was a point. I was on LimeWire, but I was still buying albums. But this is what's been preoccupying my time. The Other Bennet Sister. I feel like I needed something like this right now. I was looking for a show with yearning, but like real yearning. I'm finding that often I'm getting recommendations for shows or for books, especially books, where they're like, oh my God, he yearns so good. And then I read the book, and why did he punch her in the face? I know it's enemies to lovers, but he punched her in the face, and you want me to keep reading past that point? I did read a book like that recently. I'm not gonna lie. I read a book where that happened. Like, they got into a physical brawl, and I did end up finishing it and enjoying it. And it was the book Daggermouth. It's like a dystopian romance. I had problems with it. Like, I could nitpick it for sure, but overall it was really fun and I enjoyed it. The ending plot twists are crazy. Like, I think the next book is set up to be really good, but they're brawling, but they have an actual legitimate reason to do so. It kind of makes sense why, because it's more of a defense thing. But even then, almost the entire way through the book, anytime I start getting wrapped up in like the will they, won't they kind of thing, you punched her in the face. I know she punched you and tried to kill you, and like, I think she shot him, but you hit her. And I just can't get past that. And I don't care about your dark romance if he's punching her and then, oh, but wait, he's gonna yearn. Oh, even worse, he's been yearning for her the whole time. Why would I care about that? But for all this talk about yearning over the past couple of years, yearning, we want it in our books, in our movies, in our shows, all this talk about it, and it feels like nobody's acting on it. Or at least not in the way that we really want. Like, the Other Bennet Sister, a fucking nerdy, awkward woman who is loved by a guy who's also kind of nerdy, but like notices little things about her and notices the things that she's interested in. Taking interest in somebody. It's not just insta love, like he's been watching her for years and in love with her, but he doesn't even really know why. It's because she's pretty or something. It's like there's nothing to tell us that like it's because of who they are. That means nothing to me. It's the like taking an interest in who they are as a person, and that is why you long for them the way that you do. That's the shit I'm talking about. That's the good stuff. Sorry, I had to give it a minute and readjust because I don't know what's going on up there, but it sounds like hell on earth. So I wanted to give it a second, let it pass. I don't know. I don't know what goes on up there, but it's bad. Whatever the fuck those people are about, it's bad. And now Biscotti is in a love affair with their cat. The one that came in here and ran in the door the one day when we opened our apartment door. She was so cute. Such a pretty cat. But and her and Biscotti would probably look really good together. But this boy is fixed. He would not know what to do with all that. She's at the door yowling from upstairs, calling to him. He's confused. he doesn't know what the fuck is going on. So he's just at the door listening to it all the time. But it's kind of romantic. It's a little bit romantic. But nothing's going to come from that. But when I am looking for a romance, I'm looking for a book or a show, and I want it to make me kick my feet and giggle. I'm looking for specifically when the love interest genuinely wants to know and falls in love with the main character because of who they are as a person. None of that insta love shit. I don't care about it. Get away from me. Get away from my company. We don't want that. We want nothing to do with that. We want yearning because of who they are. But this is what I want out of my romances, because that's what I want in real life. That's what I've always gone for, is someone who I'm interested in as a person, and I can tell that they are interested in me. And I think that's one of the most romantic things that you could do after being with somebody for a long time. You know everything about them. You've seen each other naked. You've showered together, lived together. You've done every fucking thing under the sun. They've seen you at your worst. You've seen them at their worst. And you're still curious about them. You've like gone through the whole, what's your favorite kind of music? What's your favorite thing to eat? And now you've got it down. They ask you, can you stop by such and such place and grab food? You already know their order. You already know what they're going to want. You already know what they're not going to like. You know what they're going to wear when it's like a nice night out. You know so much about them, but you'll never know all of it. And I think being curious, even when you've been with somebody for a long time, is one of the most romantic things. To still want to get to know somebody that you feel like you could just go, I already know. I already know you don't like pickles. You do like olives. You know what I mean? I know your favorite top. I know you're going to leave your socks on the floor. I know your favorite soap, and that's why I pick it up every time I go grocery shopping. I always make sure to grab your soap. But that person is always going to be evolving and changing, or at least you would hope so. You would hope that they would always be like into new things, finding new music, finding new interests and hobbies. And some people really just go, well, I already know, but I already know you. So what else is there to know? For someone to always be curious about you, always want to get to know you a little bit deeper, find out what you're into now. Has your mind changed on something? Depending on how long you've been with somebody, they could have had a stance on one thing at this time, and then it's completely changed years later, and you would never know unless you dug a little bit, unless you had those conversations with one another. I really think that's what fucks people over in the long run. If it's somebody that you want to still be with, and you're not just like going through the motions, which happens to be a lot of relationships once they get to a certain point, you just kind of are chugging along. You know, life's hard. Everything's expensive. Work sucks. You just don't want to sit down and take the time to really think about, am I happy enough in what I'm in? You're just kind of going through it, and it happens. But if you want that, like that feeling, like when you have a crush, you want that feeling of like when you get a text and it's from them, and that it gives you the butterflies, and it gives you that like, oh, I can't wait to see them, and I wonder what we're going to talk about. And that feeling, you have to be curious. You have to, and they have to let you too. They can't just go, I already told you this before. You got to be willing to like go deeper with them and continue to do that probably forever. That's what I think. That's what I've done. And I still get that kid like feeling. I still get that like playfulness, and that like, you know, oh, I had no idea that you'd been listening to that. Sometimes you'll find something, even after being with somebody for a long time, that you just had no idea that they knew about. I mean, we get so much time to ourselves, unless you're up each other's ass 24/7. Even then, I would think they're still having thoughts in their brain. You guys are not like fully 100% synced up. They're still having thoughts. They could have thoughts that are interesting or different than yours. But I think always trying to get to know that person. That's so romantic. I think that's so romantic. Like you're genuinely curious about me, genuinely like you like me enough to care about what I care about. And one of those things that I've always felt like is such a huge red flag, and I think it gets brushed under the rug a lot. In fact, I was talking to somebody not that long ago who kind of is in one of those relationships and expressing this exact same thing. It's a way bigger deal than some people make it when someone's partner hates everything they're interested in. Or even if we're not going to use the word hate, even if we're just going to use like dislikes or is annoyed by, is a little irritated by everything they're into. Whatever show you have on, whatever book you're reading, you're wearing a color that you don't normally wear, and they feel the need to comment on all of it. That person does not fucking like you. They don't like you. They could love you, but they do not like you. And there is a difference, and that difference matters a lot. To watch somebody be in love with that kind of person is also really hard, because it's like you really don't know how good it could be, because unfortunately you already fell for his shit, whatever he was like in the beginning or whatever you liked about that. And it's going to get real fucking old. And at some point, you're just going to miss out on all kinds of things and walk on eggshells the rest of your life. There's too many people out there who are just willing to not only accept you for what you're interested in, but also become interested in it themselves. Like, if I'm reading a really good book and then they want to be a part of it and vice versa, and they start reading that book, they taking recommendations. How romantic is taking recommendations from somebody? To tell somebody, oh, I'm listening to this artist, I really think you would like it. And they go, oh, okay. And you're like, probably not going to hear about that again. And then they do. They do. And then you can exchange music with each other and you actually check out the music that they're sending you. To give somebody a book recommendation and they actually go and read it. Well, kiss me. We'll put the book down and kiss me. Like, what are we doing? You're talking to somebody that you're interested in and you mention to them what your favorite movie of all time is. And they go, oh, I've never seen it. You're like, you should definitely watch it. And then they do. And then they go and watch it and they tell you about it. Girl, fetch me my fainting couch because I'm going to faint. I'm going to have a faint. I'm going to have a spell. That's so romantic. And it sounds so basic, you would think, but those are things that you don't get from every person. It's like if they're going through the motions of dating or they think they've already got you, right? They might not bother to do those things. Those things are a sign that, like, even in a friendship, to give somebody a recommendation and they actually take it and they actually go and do the thing because they trust you and what you recommend. And I mean, like, taking interest in what you're interested in a real and genuine way, not in the way of like those people on YouTube where like they were like, oh, two straight guys watching Heated Rivalry? What? Reading ACOTAR? Except we're guys? Million question marks. I don't know. Are you asking me? Are you asking me? Which part are you asking me? Two straight guys like watching Heated Rivalry? Which part is a question? At least put an exclamation point in there. But you're asking me, are we two straight guys watching Heated Rivalry? I could not possibly make that judgment call. I hate the pandering. I fucking hate it. It's like you can tell the difference most of the time between someone who's just like hopping on the train because this is what women are into and they know that they're going to get views for it, because women just are the best audience. They just are. And they know that. They want to tap into it. But it's like they're not really engaging with what they're reading or what they're watching. Also, I've been talking about reading a little bit. I finally found myself on the other side of a book slump, which was caused by Kingdom of Ash, the final Throne of Glass book. Finally finished that series. I was dragging my feet on that last book for so long because I have a hard time with endings. And that goes for kind of anything. Sometimes I cry watching the last episode of a show, not because it's sad, but just because it's the last episode And I'm talking about shows that have like one season. There's just something about finales, the last episodes of whatever. It always makes me cry. No matter if it's happy or sad, it just always makes me cry. So this was really hard for me to let this series go. Finally finished it. Book slump. And now I've read a couple of books since. So got my spark back a bit. But something I've been noticing for a while now, it drives me fucking crazy. I'm finding so many books that overuse the word sharp to describe everything. Everything is sharp. Everything is sharp. The look that she gave was sharp. The sky is sharp. The color was sharp. Everything's sharp. The breeze was crisp and sharp. Her mouth was soft and sharp. There was a sharpness to her sharp look, which sharpened his attention. Sharpeningly. Sharp, sharp, sharp. Everything is sharp. Everything is sharp until sharp means nothing and it's not even a word anymore. Her response was sharp, causing his cock to sharpen under her sharp gaze. It can't all be sharp. Some things have to be something else. They have to be a different describing word. And I am noticing it all the time. Once you start noticing it, you're going to notice it constantly. And it's one of those things that like feels like AI writing to me, but I don't know. I don't know for sure. Sharp is just an easy word to describe something with. It's right there. Yeah, sharp. It can be sharp. To be honest with you, I'm not even entirely sure what I've talked about in this episode. I've had to break so many times for the sound, both outside and upstairs. It's been really extra bad today, but yearning mostly. I guess yearning. And I gave you your homework, so you already know what you have to go and do. And that's all. Sending you lots of love.